My dear friends, it is my first video in English to reproduce some of the valuable Buddhist text which is available to us. And today I am going to tell you about a very wrong misconception that whether Buddha was an incarnation of any previous god. Many Hindus in India have spread this rumor that Buddha was an incarnation of Vishnu. Now let us learn that whether he was an incarnation of Vishnu or any other god or not. I am reading this from the book What Buddhists Believe. It is written by K. Sri Dhammananda. K. Sri Dhammananda is a well-known Buddhist. Now he is no more physically in this world, but his blessings are there, and you can also listen many of his videos and audios on internet. Now let us begin with this topic. Was Buddha an incarnation of God? Never had the Buddha claimed that he was the son or a messenger of God. The Buddha was a unique human being who was self-enlightened. He had no one whom he could regard his teacher. Through his own efforts, he practiced to perfection the 10 supreme qualities of generosity, discipline, renunciation, wisdom, energy, endurance, truthfulness, determination, goodwill, and equanimity. Through his mental purification, he opened the doors of all knowledge. He knew all things to be known, cultivated all things to be cultivated, and destroyed all things to be destroyed. Indeed, no other religious teacher was comparable to him in terms of cultivation and attainment. So special was he and so electrifying his message that many people asked him what he was. Questions on who he was would be with respect to his name, origin, ancestry, etc., while what he was referred to the other of being to which he belonged. So godly and inspiring was he that even during his time there were numerous attempts of others to turn him into a god or a reincarnation of God. Never did he agree to be regarded as such. In the Aguntar Nikaya is one of the texts under Tipitaka. In the Aguntar Nikaya, he said, I am not indeed a Dev. Dev is a Hindu deity, a Hindu god. I am not indeed a Dev, nor a Gandharv. Gandharv is also under Hindu mythology, is a one kind of species which is explained in many previous ancient texts. Gandharvs are generally people who are very innocent and they live their life with love and pleasures. So he says, I am not indeed a Dev, I am I am not indeed a Dev, nor a Gandharv, nor a Yaksh. Yaksh is also a kind of a species. It is not human being, but a different. You can say it's like a ghost. Nor a Yaksh, nor a Manushya. Now, Manushya, out of all these four categories, Manushya is the only category of human being. So he said, I am not indeed a Dev, nor a Gandharv, nor a Yaksh, nor a Manushya. Now, yea, that I am the Buddha. After enlightenment, the Buddha could no longer be classified even as a Manushya or an ordinary human being. He belonged to the Buddha Vansha, a special race or species of enlightened beings, all of whom are Buddhas. Buddhas appear in this world from time to time, but some people have the mistaken idea that it is the same Buddha who is reincarnated or appears in the world over and over again. Actually, they are not the same people. Otherwise, there is no scope for others to attain to Buddhahood. Buddhists believe that anyone can become a Buddha if he develops his qualities to perfection and is able to remove his ignorance completely through his own efforts. After enlightenment, all Buddhas are similar in their attainment and experience of Nibbana. Nibbana in Sanskrit called as Nirvana, that is a state of awakening one. In India, the followers of many orthodox religious groups tried to condemn the Buddha because of his liberal teachings, which revolutionized the Indian society. Many regarded him as an enemy when increasing numbers of intellectuals as well as people from all ranks of society took up the religion. When they failed in their attempt to destroy him, they adopted the reverse strategy of introducing him as a reincarnation of one of their gods. So this god in India is called as Vishnu, one of a Hindu god. So what they did, when they failed in their attempt to destroy him, to destroy Buddha, they adopted the reverse strategy of introducing him as a reincarnation of one of their gods, and that god is Vishnu. This way, they could absorb Buddhism into their religion. To a certain extent, this strategy worked in India since it had, through the centuries, contributed to the decay and subsequent uprooting of Buddhism from the land of its origin. Even today, there are certain religionists who try to absorb the Buddha into their belief as a way of gaining converts among Buddhists. Their basis for doing so is by claiming that Buddha himself had predicted that another Buddha would appear in this world and that the latest Buddha will become even more popular. One group named a religious teacher who lived 600 years after Gautam the Buddha as the latest Buddha. Another group said that the next Buddha had already arrived in Japan in 13th century. Yet another group believed that their founder came from the lineage of great teachers like Gautam and Jesus, and that founder was the latest Buddha. These groups advised Buddhists to give up their old Buddha and follow the so-called new Buddha. While it is good to see them giving the Buddha the same status as their own religious teacher, as their own religious teachers, we feel that these attempts to absorb Buddhists into another faith by misrepresenting the truth are in extreme bad taste. Those who claim that the new Buddha had already arrived are obviously misrepresenting what the Buddha had said. Although the Buddha predicted the coming of the next Buddha, he mentioned some conditions which had to be met before this can be possible. It is the nature of Buddhahood that the next Buddha will not appear as long as the dispensation of the current Buddha still exists. He will appear only when the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path have been completely forgotten. The people living then must be properly guided in order to understand the same truth again, same truth taught by the previous Buddhas. We are still living within the dispensation of Gautam the Buddha. Although the moral conduct of the people has, with very few exceptions, deteriorated, the future Buddha would only appear at some incalculable period when the path to Nibbana or Nirvana is completely lost to mankind, and then people are ready to receive him. I would repeat this last line. It is very interesting that the future Buddha would only appear at some incalculable period when the path to Nibbana is completely lost to mankind and when people are ready to receive him. So this was the end of our topic which we took, that whether Buddha was an incarnation of any god or not. So K. Dhammananda has explained that he was not an incarnation of any previous god. And about there are many other things which I would like to explain, but not in this video, hopefully in the next videos. I hope you must have enjoyed this, and if you find anyone speaking that whether Buddha was an incarnation of any previous god or not, then you can explain him. He has also said that he was he was a Buddha, a different category. So you have to understand that Buddha is not a human being. He is not a Manushya. He is a different category. What K. Dhammananda has explained in this book. Now we would explore that what is a Buddha, what are the characteristics of a Buddha in another videos. Thank you very much. Jai Bhim. Namo Buddhaya.